Well, I honestly couldn't tell you what was worse there. Gibbs's cheese picks or Shogun's internet. What an absolute farce that was. Hopefully, Achieves, this next series is going to be of a little bit higher quality.
Yes, then Gibbs cheese pick, yes. Yeah. I think that was undoubtedly the worst pick. American cheese is not the play, and so I'm leaning Guild. I have to, because that was just a poor form, Gibbs.
Yeah, American cheese is such a strange choice to go for your objective favorite cheese as well. It's like there's so many types, there's so many ways that you could go with cheese. Nolly has left the room naturally as well, so we're incredible that this is carrying on. We're going to be restarting this game. But yeah, it's one of those things that Gibbs is yet again is of course wrong on. So we can also confirm that game is obviously not live. Nolly is not even in the room, so don't worry, Guild fans. They haven't thrown it quite that hard. Are we continuing with our predictions, guys? Because I think that it was still very, very close in that series, of course. It came down to that Game 5 final game as well. I don't know if there's too much to separate these teams, especially if Guild starts to turn it on, Cole.
Yeah, I mean, Guild are a team that always seem to have more in the locker, but we've been saying that about them since the very start of the RLCS Season X, that they'll be good. And then for a time in spring, they actually became good. They became really, really, really good, winning themselves a regional. So they've definitely got more to offer here. And the irony is, as Gibbs alluded to, and we said when we were commentating as well, they didn't play that badly. Their shooting wasn't great. So hopefully, you know, you were saying earlier on, Stumpy, that in between days, they've been on the training packs, working with their mechanics. Hopefully, they've been on the classic shots you shouldn't miss, making sure that if they have a shooting chance, they are bulleting it into the top right or top left corner. I do feel, Achieves, that if they start shooting well, Guild will still be favorites in this set, but perhaps you disagree.
No, I'm totally with you. I actually think Guild overall played the much better series. In general, holding a lot more of the offensive pressure across the board throughout the series, and that to me has always been your sign of a successful Rocket League team. If you're the ones dictating pace of play, putting pressure on defenses, far more likely to crack on defense than you are on offense, or at least in a way that's going to be hugely problematic. And so I think if Guild really just, like we talked about right at the end of that last series, tighten the screws a little bit, those follow-through start coming through. If Tho is able to continue to set up, I mean, some truly quality chances for his teammates, and they start dropping, you're going to get in a lot of trouble if you're Team Queso.
I mean, I don't want to call out Tho, but there were also one or two negatives for his first series there. Once or twice, he very clearly went for a ball that it was his teammates on the rotation out and even bumped into his teammates. So I think, Stumpy, it's fair to say that Guild have a few things they can easily fix that will just step up their gameplay by that 5% extra that they'd need to take this series.
I think, yeah, there are a couple of very easy fixes. A part of them are also a case of just being a bit more consistent with calling where you're putting the ball. We saw how well they gained space when they did that. We saw the best moment was when Devo sent it high and called onto Nolly before he did it, so Nolly could pre-jump for the ball. That meant that nobody else on Queso was even able to get off the ground before he had hit it. However, Nolly just didn't quite have that accuracy. In this series, we're going to need to see a lot come out from both of these teams, because obviously they're going to both come out swinging. Queso just need that one more series. Guild are going to need to reverse sweep in this series to take this set.
Yeah, Guild are absolutely living on the edge right now. So close to falling out as our 5th top team in EU. And Queso start is going to make it trickier. Quick fire play there from them at the start.
Pretty curious to see this one split the defense. I can kind of understand. So it's Nolly rotating back there, kind of watching Tho's rotation back. Like, he's watching Tho follow the play. And Tho kind of gives ground twice in a row, and Nolly's thinking Tho's going to turn and catch something, so he starts heading up the pitch, so he's not on the goal line to even have an opportunity to get that one out. So Tho just not really feeling too comfortable in that situation, just never makes a play, and Bill doesn't have the support back there.
It was also an unbelievably quick pass from the corner too, where Dementa managed to pinch it along with VK Salen, and then somehow, astonishingly, managed to read it off that side wall and shoot it behind the defender. So Team Queso with a really, really good start, carrying on being quick and being speedy, but Guild suddenly putting a bit more of that pressure on.
So there's a chance. It was his flip reset that got Guild going in the first series. And he looked like he was setting himself up for another one there, but in the end, he's had to rotate back, and Nolly goes for a redirect. Read so easily though by VK Salem, who's following up as well. Team Queso are doing something right now, Achieves, that they do as well as anybody in EU, and that is always being there for the second awkward touch after their teammate makes a good touch, just following it up and making the play unpredictable.
Definitely agree, and that's not even touching on the quality of their initial challenge on the ball. I mean, they're not getting beat by a lot of these catch into air dribbles. They're getting above the play. They're taking a lot of them off the top of Guild hoods, and VK Salen's gonna spike one into the lower right-hand corner. 2-0.
That is so well played. Look at VK Salen turn on a dime, heads up the wall, receives the pass from Atomic, sees that there's nobody in the net, maybe received a call to go for that shot, saying it's open. Anything that goes on target there is likely going in, let alone a shot with that amount of spice.
Just a great finish, a clean strike into the corner of the net. He could have another one here. VK sent into the backboard. Atomic's following up, could be 3. Devo slams down on the ball to save it, but it's nervy times for Guild all of a sudden in this opening game to series number 2 in this set. They have to slow things down a little bit, just make sure they don't give anything away in the next 30 seconds or so, because this first game, Stumpy, could get away from them. It could happen now as well, but nobody's following up on that occasion.
Yeah, there's lots of chances, though, for Guild to come back into this. They've had a good few shots. They haven't been completely shut out. They've not had a lot of time in the opposite half is the only problem. Any shots they have had, it just comes down to the fact that there have been the occasional rolling shot towards the opposition goal. Queso have been they've been able, to manage their goal line incredibly well, sending it to corners repeatedly too. Guild just need to pressure them more. Right now, it's touching the ball central, Queso clear, Guild start again. They need to have a follow-up from Guild to pressure Queso into making a rush touch or just force a 50.
Trying to do that now. Nolly was trying to take a few more touches, but just look at the clearance. Demensa can actually make something from this. It seems that Guild are getting 4, 5, even 6 touches of their own, and Queso are letting it happen. Then as soon as there's a clearance, look how much pressure they put on. Almost another goal for Demensa. Atomic could make it 3 now. Demensa does get a nibble on Nolly as he comes out. Tho has to help out his teammate. But just the amount of danger that Queso are representing anytime they have anything approaching possession is impossible for Guild to deal with right now.
Yeah. And I think the big quality when it comes to that is Demensa trying to get it back to VK Salen. So actually on the transition, you need to score this if you're Guild pretty much. And big flick, Demensa spawns on the right side of the pitch. Oh my gosh, if he gets any different spawn, they're toast.
It just seems that this is looking like not Guild's day. When the respawns go against you and the awkward bounces trickle into your goal and not theirs, you really have to dig deep to make sure you don't start feeling sorry for yourself. There are no more second chances for Guild right now. They have to just step up and fight, and they're starting to do that with a shot from Tho. It's easily saved by VK Salen, but it's at least better from Guild.
I wouldn't even say this is Guild's second chance. It's the 4th series they've played across 2 games as well. They've had a lot of chances to work their way into it. Even if we take away yesterday from it, they've still had a chance from the very close series earlier on. We're speaking like Queso absolutely ran away with it. Guild didn't have a chance. It was just very well managed by Queso, but Guild ultimately looked like the better team despite the result. Nolly, though, can get the opening goal for Guild.
Looking very similar to Tho's initial backboard setup in the previous series. This time he's got the people in position to take advantage, and got the nice little bump on VK Salen, stopped him from diving down out in front of that and maybe pulling that one off the goal line. So Guild give themselves an outside chance here, just under 50 seconds. It's definitely doable.
Yeah, it was sort of just in that time where 2 goals was an absolutely, really difficult task to achieve. But getting one with 49 seconds left, that second goal, they do have time for it, but they just need a few chances to fall their way. You can see there, Nolly is just hovering, hoping something's going to fall for him, desperate for these scraps. Nothing's happening just yet, and the clearances from Team Queso have been so good, but that's better. Nolly tries to send it back towards Devo. Atomic closes it down this time. Here's Nolly again, always going for these redirects, trying to tempt Team Queso out of defense and out of their goal line. Devo slows it down again. He's been doing that this entire set, but Demensa's carrying it away, and Nolly's been beaten, and that probably will be that.
The thing is, in defense, we've complimented Queso a lot. I feel like I can count on one hand the amount of defensive challenges Queso have gone for where they've not double committed. Almost every single time there's been a double commit from Queso on defense. And yet, how many times did Guild punish on those specific chances? None. There were no goals from those. They need to be doing that a lot more often.
And the thing about that is the hard part, because one, yes, Team Queso double committing on a lot of the defensive challenges, but the difference being the ball is getting cleared in a decent spot. So you're double committing, you're costing yourself position, but you are buying yourself the time to reset as well. And the boost. And the problem with Guild there is on those clears, they don't quite have the same level of control that you've seen out of Team Queso. Because every time I see Queso, bring the ball down, they've got space, and they've got the ball much more under control to really turn it into a threatening opportunity back the other way. And Guild, when they've got that time and they bring that first touch down, it just doesn't quite feel like it's really got the same control behind it. And that touch out to somewhere else is more just a, hang on, I need to readjust here. And that's buying even more time for Queso to get reset there. And Guild, that's part of the reason why that offense, despite, hanging out over on the blue side for so much of the game, isn't really getting anything done because there's a lot of wasted time.
I just feel like Guild need a little bit of luck. A free goal, something to fall their way to spark their day into life. But Team Queso aren't letting it happen. They're defending too well. Haphazardly at times, Stumpy, as you mentioned, I will accept. But they are, one way or another, keeping Guild out. When they have chances themselves, they're getting so many shots. It's almost impossible for Guild to defend at times. Already in this game, in the first 30 seconds, look at the pressure that Team Queso have. It's cleared by Nolly on this occasion, but I'm starting to trust Team Queso to be playing well. And when you do, they're so dangerous. But Devo almost turns that right on its head.
How does that not go in? I mean, that looked like a gimme, right? I'm not crazy?
No, it did. I don't know how that's not made it.
Okay.
There we go. Right, so Devo managed to turn it back around and actually sink that one. But the first shot, that just wrapped around the top right corner, then rolled along the goal line. Nobody from Guild following up, because I think they must have thought as well. Devo was on his way out already celebrating. He was already flying to the ceiling, ready to do a ceiling reset. So I don't know how that didn't, but Guild fans and Guild will be very happy that they did manage to get one.
Credit to them as well for not completely rotating out and wanting to reset the play. Devo recycled, kept it going, and in the end got his reward with that lead for Guild, their first one in a very long time, scoring the first goal in a game. Demensa up against Devo onto the backboard. Guild could double up quickly. Foe shoots, it's loose and it's looping. Nolly can't even come in because Demensa was in from the side, but now Nolly gets his opportunity. Atomic saves. Foe tries to keep it going in the way of Devo. Demensa towards his teammates, and Guild can't quite double up.
Great coordination, though. Go for it, Stumpy.
Yeah, that should have been left, I think. Though technically had a right to that ball, but he didn't have the power. He barely had the angle. That should have been Devo's to shoot.
But if the call wasn't there, you can't blame Foe, so it all comes down to communication and then listening to your teammates. It's a great pass though from Atomic to Demensa. Queso are certainly listening to each other with quick-fire passes like that. BK Salon has no boost, but he still manages to get it over the top of Foe. And Atomic's already coming in, pre-jumping Nolly's dribble out of defense. That is why Team Queso are so difficult to play against, but Guild still hold on to this very weary lead. Demensa is going out wide there. It's going to fall to Foe. He's putting it into the center, and this is better from Guild. They're just managing to deal with what Team Queso are offering, at least for now, but you always get the sense, Chiefs, that one clean touch from Queso could be enough to just put them under so much pressure, and now this is the pressure that they're under. Again, they survive, but Team Queso looks so dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that. It just takes one touch because they're catching Guild every now and again with that one big challenge like this right here.
Wow.
Devo comes up empty, and Atomic's just right on it. He's committed to the line. And I mean, if you don't make the touch, what's Nolly supposed to do on the goal line? I mean, he just got a bullet fired at him when he's thinking his teammate's going to get a touch.
God, that pass coming in as well is perfect. You see them so often either go straight towards the net, into the ceiling, anywhere, but in the perfect passing lane. And yet, Queso managed to find it, get their goal. Oh, what a fake out! Nolly just turning it round instantly again.
This is unlucky. You feel like you get a nice couple of people going to challenge an Atomic. I mean, try as you might, it's quite frankly just not the best line to take on the ball. Maybe jumped a little bit early, but you can't really blame him. You got to go back there and try and pull it out.
I mean,
ends up just tipping it in.
That's what we said. We said that Guild needed a little bit of luck. Maybe that was it. It was luck combined with the pure skill of Nolly to go for the flip reset dunk there. It's the second one that he's got in this series, so you know that he means it. And Guild also mean business. Not had as many chances as Team Queso, but they have more goals. But this could be the equalizer right now. It is the second time they've scored this exact goal, and it's atomic this time. Look at that. Look at the pass there from Demensa. Just picks him out. There's been a couple of beautiful assists in this game achieves as well, it has to be said, from both VK Salen and Demensa.
You just got to watch it again, right? I mean, you're feeling good about Guild. You got that, like you said, the flip reset, the fake, go for the dunk, and you squeeze one in, and then you just get instantly put right back into the tie game, and it's like, goodness gracious. What do we do to stop these guys on transition? And it might be the answer is throw. That's a hard kick.
Oh, another team.
Oh no, Devo's been taken out completely into Mensa. It's going to turn this one on its head. Look at poor old Devo right there.
Oh, but then Devo was left out the back on his own because Tho again team bumped Nolly and then meant that he couldn't even begin to come back. Even if Devo wasn't bumped there, he was still in a 3v1 situation. That was 3 or 4 things for Guild just going utterly wrong, and Queso making sure that they capitalize. They're looking great.
I mean, achieves. Guild are on the cusp of needing to reverse sweep in a series to save their entire season, and everything just seems to be going against them right now. I know that on the desk, Turtle stayed firm with his prediction for Guild. Do you have any words for their fans or for him to say that this could still happen?
You know, I think the right play actually for Guild is just get out of Tho's way. I think you need to trust that he's got the speed to keep putting the pressure on the defense, because every now and again he's made a big play for you, and if you just keep giving him the chance to try and open a door, and instead of crowding him as much as they have been, crowding might be the wrong word, but they need to spread the field and give a little bit more space for him to operate, and that's kind of how this team has always found success. They'll just pressure, and then it's Nolly and Devo to follow up or make a big block to keep the pressure going.
I mean, Tho is also the fastest player that we had out of every single game yesterday, despite their performance. He was so quick, and yet we're seeing that, like you said, Devo and Nolly, they're just getting in his way every now and then. We always point him out because he is the culprit who is bumping, but you have to, in Rocket League, always look back 3 or 4 steps. How did that situation arise? Who was in the wrong lane? Devo nearly able to equalize with under 10 seconds.
It was a great save there on the goal line. Devo tries to get one more chance for Guild. He sprays it out wide to the left. Nolly maybe was waiting. Oh, the first touch was a great read. The second, though, I think Achieves the very happy man having witnessed that 0-second play there.
BK Salen is a genius. I mean, he jumped off that wall right before that pass got lifted out to his teammate. You know, sometimes you just get that sixth sense. You know where that pass is going. He went out there, chopped it down, and what a double tap to kill the game. And what are you laughing about, Cole?
I'm laughing about the fact that in quick chat, VK Salen has just used the very rarely used one full stop more full stop game against Guild. Wow. Guild are taking their tactical timeout, and Stumpy, they're just going to have to ignore that completely and focus on their own thoughts.
But you know they've seen it. Like, absolutely. You know that they have just seen one more game. And now Dragon's saying, guys, it's not one more game. We're going to literally have another series. Don't worry about it. In terms of the stats on that previous game, Tho had more touches than Nolly and Devo combined. He had 60 touches on the ball. I think Nolly had 22, and then Devo was rocking like 27. So he had more than them both combined. His speed, his absolute aggression that he wants on a game is still not breaking down the walls of Queso. They are firm. They are making sure that this series is theirs. We know how excited these guys get as well. Some of my favorite moments from this season have been the introduction of player cams and then just seeing VK Salen sprint out of his room.
I mean, VK Salen's fan is going absolutely wild behind him. He believes that Team Queso are going to win this one. I mean, I like to think that in their chat right now, all they're saying is, presumably in Spanish, one more game. One more game.
What is it in Spanish?
I will. One more.
Yes, thank you, Achieves. I'm so glad you're here to answer that question.
Why did you help him? Why did you help him?
Well, you know, I'm not going to let him hang out to dry.
Yes,
that's been my career, is letting him hang out to dry.
That's what's got you to these big leagues. Absolutely. But I mean, like, Team Queso Guild feel like they're being hung out too dry right now by Team Queso. They're, I don't know how many times I can reiterate this. They're not playing terribly. Maybe less so in that game. That was a dodgier one compared to what they've been so far in this set. But for the most part, the general dynamic of how they've sort of lined up today is sort of working. But they just can't score. And then down the other end, they're conceding silly goals, Achieves.
Yeah, well, the silly goals sometimes can or cannot be helped, but I think the biggest MVP for me throughout the series, it's just gotta be Team Queso somehow. Just one, challenging like absolute monsters, and two, just so structurally good on defense, because the double commits, we've talked about it, right? But does it matter? No, they still can't crack them, right? So it's like they're just getting the quality touches on defense, and Guild just don't have the command or the execution on offense to do anything about the kind of slapdash approach.
I mean, one thing that is so big for Guild has been their timeouts. They've been used so well, and Gregan has brought them back into series time and time again, hoping beyond all hope that this is another example of that. Guild now need to be reverse sweeping in this game to then go forward to reverse sweep this set. They've got a mountainous task ahead of them. Guild need as much love and as much energy as their fans can give them right now, because Queso are sapping it out of them with every single play.
I mean, credit to Team Queso. They have been absolutely stunning today. They have been ruthless. They've taken their chances, and they're so dangerous in attack. It could be Demensa. What a save that was from Devo. You get the impression that Guild needed it. Can only do anything down the other end. This could be a real sucker punch if he can score here. But Atomic stands tall. And whenever any of the Queso players have been called into action, they have been unrelenting and unblinking, never seeming like bowing to this pressure, Achieves.
It's been good defense as well, but I just kind of watching that sequence right there from Guild just felt like they took the foot off the gas a little bit and weren't willing to try and drive something home there and really put that pressure on Team Queso as well.
Atomic is going to go for a flip reset himself, though, just waiting underneath it, confident that he'd miss. And this could be trouble for Queso, because there was a slight double commit there from VK Salem and Demensa, but by the time the ball fell, and they had got back into rotation really well. Then look at VK Salem pre-jumping again, Demensa to the backboard. They're just so in sync right now. Gonna defend for a little bit as Noni sends it forward. It's a huge clearance. Actually, Demensa might be able to reach that one, not on that occasion. Look at him bouncing along the back wall. They are playing with so much confidence right now. Team Queso are having fun. They're making Guild look slow.
Okay, here's my problem. You see that weak touch right there. They take it all the way back to their own half, and then they make one bad touch, and it drops down. It's a free look for Devo. And the execution just, I mean, how do you not put more pressure with that? Like, he missed time to catch, doesn't get the dribble, doesn't get the strong touch towards the back wall, just chipped it straight into the ceiling, and they gave it right back pretty much. It's like, guys, they gave you the opportunity to put the pressure on him. You gotta take it.
I was so ready to finally be happy that the double commit led to a goal against Team Queso, but you're completely right. It was just not challenged again, and it's disappointing yet again. Team Queso holding so firm and being so resolute throughout this series that Guild, they've had more openings, they've had more chances to score here, and yet they haven't done anything with them.
But the longer it goes on without Team Queso scoring, the time is running out, and one goal from Guild could be enough to take this all-important game. So it is just about starting to become a little bit edgy. The Team Queso are willing to change that. They're looking the faster team on this pitch right now. As Atomic, another clean touch, goes for the flip reset and can't quite get it. But it's VK Salem that's following up, and no Guild player anywhere near reading what Devo had offered. The pre-jumps aren't quite working for them either, and now Tho and Devo getting in each other's way in defense. There's a clean shot for Atomic. Tho just about bundles it towards Devo. Guild do well to survive, but they need to do so much more than that in this last minute and 10 seconds.
Oh, there's just been so many iffy touches from Guild. I'm amazed that Queso haven't punished more than they should have done as well. It's a chance for Nolly just to keep some of this pressure going. Great touch onto the backboard. And Queso, they're doing what they did versus Solary in some of their games. Sit back, wait for an error in the back line, wait for Tho to just bump someone out of the way, and then you've got a decent in.
That's it. That is it right there. They just in defense didn't look up for it at all. Dementor gets a clean touch, and then Nolly and Devo, they're looking at each other. They're waiting for the other one to get the ball. Credit though achieves to VK Salen. He saw that coming from the off.
Exactly. I mean, you see that lift towards the backboard, and initially as VK Salen, it doesn't look like it's too much, but then you can tell there's that slight hesitancy between Devo and Nolly, and then you've taken too much time, right? It's now a much more difficult play to make, and VK Salen just closes the gap to see if they make the mistake, jumps right on it in an instant, and a huge block right there. Still goes straight out to Tho. Atomic's going to kick it up off the wall. Tho going to chop it down for Nolly. This one is not going to get turned in. Not really too good of an opportunity, but probably one of the best they've had in this game.
Guilds have got 20 more seconds to save an entire season as Nolly puts it into the center, but it's nowhere. Atomic beats it forward. Team Queso know they are so close to breaking into this top 4 against Team BDS. Tho has no boost, nothing to do with it. Devo wants to go up. I don't think he has any boost either. Dementor just fakes him out. They've got so much control. They've got the entire pitch in the palm of their hands. Atomic, who else signs, seals, and delivers it for Team Queso?
Don't tell me why Dementor crushed him. Just tell me why he crushed him, man.
To be mean, to be cruel, to finally shut down what Guild have been trying to do for this entire series. The vice that Queso managed to seal around Guild in this final game is astonishing. I'm so impressed with how well Queso held it together. They were being attacked for a straight 5 minutes. They had no opportunity to break out of their own half. They were maybe had 1, 2, 3 shots. And finally, they get a chance. They send in one. They send in a second. The killing blow. Despite the fact that they were very even on touches in the end by the looks of things, Guild just couldn't sink anything. Queso looked incredible. They looked formidable. And I am so excited to see how Queso do going forwards. They've now broken into that incredibly elusive top 4 in Europe.
With a sweep as well against Guild Esports, one of the favorites, other than BDS, going into this championships. And Team Queso have made them look so average today. They were so fast. They were on sync with each other, kept on fighting until the very end. They have relegated Team Guild to 5th place, who win $32,000 on top of their season, but achieves. This was just Queso's to win from the off.
Oh, yeah. To be honest, were they ever going to lose it when you saw how well they're reading the game? I mean, they're pre-jumping, cutting off passes, making quality challenges through and throughout. And you can just tell that's going to grind you down as a team like Guild. Sure, the first set went okay. You know, you had a lot of great pressure. You were definitely putting Team Queso on the back foot, and you think, fine. Wash, rinse, repeat. They're gonna break in the second series, and nothing changes. You just can't get through them for whatever reason. You're just like, I don't know how to beat them at this point. And they just played such a quality game on the defensive side of things. And whenever they got their opportunity to push back the other way, they didn't miss.
It shows how brutal this format is as well. It was a close first series, but to shut out the set, Queso destroy Guild in the end. 3-0 in that second series, and the desk have got so much to look through.
We absolutely do, and I think the first order of business, though, is to figure out what kind of sabotage is going on here, Gibbs. Shogun, he's after us all. He's trying to take us all down.
I'm scared. Like, the moment we start getting ready to go here, it's like going stuttery again. I'm just like, oh, no. Like, Leaf, you can stay there. Check around. There might be, like, trap buttons somewhere in your house he's trying to get you with. It's ridiculous. You know what?
The loose wire somewhere.
It's going to be Turtle, isn't it? Turtle's going to keep this going until Turtle's the only one left on this broadcast.
Please. Okay, I'm down for that, okay? You know, it'll just be the Turtle Show. I'll play all the games as well. I'll be the only player.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
That's what we all want to see, right?
Okay,
he's been waiting for this in season 4.
Just start spamming Turtle if we want a full Turtle show. He's every analyst.
No, please.
He's every caster.
Nobody wants
He's every player. Because we want that.
Sure you.
All right. What we do want is to talk about that last series. So let's start breaking that down. Turt, you can begin us off here. I feel like a lot of people have been forgetting about Queso. You know, in that first Solar rematch, we were like, oh, Solar will go on. Now against Guild, they're like, well, Guild has to win to beat BDS. Queso is pushing through, though, Turtle.
Well, I was the only one here who actually predicted for Guild. So I'm even more disappointed because not only do I look like an idiot, which I am, but also none of what I said Guild would do did I see at all on the field. It was so disappointing. We saw Tho try to carry the team and be aggressive, but it didn't work. Demensa, I believe the first goal was him ball chasing, double committing, scoring off of that, and then smiling in his face cam. As soon as I saw that, I knew it was over. Devo couldn't put any work in. The saves did come out every once in a while, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Queso move on to Guild. They're going home.
Yeah, and Team Queso, what a performance. Because obviously that first series was incredibly close, but Queso, they adapted and they just completely dominated throughout. So that is great for Queso looking forward, because they're going to have to do a lot of adapting later because they're going to play BDS. So they're definitely going to have to find something to work there.
For sure. But to talk about that match now, Atomic is joining us on the line. Atomic, welcome to the show yet again. You guys keep on crushing through. How you feeling now after 2 of these down? Are you feel like the momentum's just getting going for you guys?
Yes, I do, because, well, I mean, we were thinking about winning Guild easy from before, so this is not a really pressing opponent. So yeah, we're feeling good. We're feeling motivated to play against BDS. Let's try to win, I guess.
So that leads into my question. Obviously, BDS, they're the best team in the world. Percentage chance that you guys beat them, what do you think it is?
It's hard to say because I don't know if we will have the day to play them, but I would say it's 70-30 for them.
Okay. All right.
Right. Now, I just want to know, what's your tactic now for keeping your stamina and endurance, still up there? Because these are long games. How do you keep yourself fresh and motivated throughout the entire set?
Well, after every win, we just relax some seconds and try to stay motivated and focus in the game. So, like this series, this wasn't tiring at all. The Solary ones from yesterday was very more. Well, we have to be more focused in those series than here. But I don't know, just relaxing in the minute we have after between games, and that's it.
And for yourselves and BDS, you two are both the teams that have maybe, taken the most out of this brand new format. You're both teams that we wouldn't have been able to see in Season 10 had we not brought in this. What has this season meant to you so far?
To be honest, it's everything I have. Well, I think all my teammates and I do. I mean, it's incredible to play here. We have to thanks to the Psionics and everyone who let us play this season, and hope that this continues to more seasons, I guess.
Hey, usually I have like a summary follow-up thing to that, but I think you summarized it all really nicely there at the end there, Atomic. You guys continue on in the championships here, so congratulations on that one, and very much good luck in your next match.
Thank you.
It's Atomic from Queso.
I love it. This open format has provided Team Queso is now a top 4 team in Europe. They didn't even make any of the grids either. So that's 3 grids where it's like the top of Europe. They didn't qualify for any of them. It doesn't matter. When they show up, the best is when it's RLCS X, and they're here going up against BDS for a chance in the grand finals. It's awesome.
It is. That's what we take a look now at the bracket. That's where they sit there. Shogun, it's that's a matchup you never generally want to see yourself in, but any of these teams here are not going to be easy to get through.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Over in the top side of the bracket, we've got 2 teams that sort of represent not necessarily the old guard, although it has, been a year now or over that since Season 9. But we are guaranteed now we are going to get one of the teams that has managed to cross over, maybe a couple of roster moves, bringing Archie in versus Vitality Squad that we know what they've been capable of over the years. To also on the other side between BDS and Queso, we're also going to get brand new teams that we wouldn't have seen coming into this. So I think this is fantastic. It's going to be the old guard versus the new, guaranteed in that grand finals. And I can't wait to see who gets to represent which side of that.
Well, let's take a look to the Twitterverse now with our Verizon 5G quick chat. Up next is Spirit at Spirit__RL. Can't wait to see Johnny Boy get every prediction wrong, and I am hyped. PS.
I'm hyped too.
That's a good tweet right there. I really like that one.
We all love it here on the desk. That is the best one so far.
Well, the best thing is that Direct also tweeted out at one point that Gibbs is coming after Johnny Boy next in this whole situation. But I think Johnny Boy's safe.
Here now? What do you think Johnny's gone?
That's true.
I was gonna say I think Johnny's safe because he keeps getting it wrong, makes Gibbs look good. So Johnny's
true,
safe.
actually.
There you go.
And that's why I got the last one wrong. See, that's why I was wrong coming into this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
trying to keep
big
my
brain.
spot here.
Big brain. I like it. If you want your tweet potentially up here on the broadcast, throw out your tweet, the thought, and hashtag Verizon 5G quick chat. And there's a chance we'll read out your tweet up here on the broadcast. We love you guys becoming a part of the community here. We have a lot more action to go, though. We are going to break real quick here, but after that, we have the Middle East halftime show. We got a showcase of two really strong teams. We're going to showcase that region. You don't want to miss it. And then after that, Rogue G2. So stick around. A lot of Rocket League action coming your way.